Hello everyone. Today I'm going to take you back to my film journey and why I no longer make films nowadays and what really happened to me and like the things that I've been through in this industry. And my film journey started back in 2015 when I joined Kenyatta University to pursue a bachelor's degree in film and theatre arts. So during my time in KU, me and other students, we used to make some films that were not up to standards. We used to do them as class projects and also for fun. We used to shoot films for fun. And we also had a film festival in KU known as To Watch Cinema. And it was an initiative, I think it's still there to date. And we used to showcase our film and we used to shoot them using cameras because at the time phones did not have good cameras that were able to shoot good films. And I still remember there are films that we shot that were substandard. They are still in my YouTube channel. If you scroll down to my old videos, you'll still see them. And I decided maybe back in 2018 when I was a third year and I decided to fully major into film as a video editor. I also decided to become a director and I directed my first movie known as Odds. It's still in my YouTube channel, you can watch it. And it's a movie about betting. And this movie got a lot of success online and also in To Watch Cinema, our local film festival. We also took it to other film festivals around Kenya where it was screened. And it was good and it gave us more motivation because the following year, 2019, was our final year and we needed to make a good film. Like between 2018 and 2019, our final year, we had to plan for this film and we were given 2 semesters to plan your final project and we were divided into groups of 10. Like from third year to fourth year, we had maintained one group of 10 individuals. And so me and the other 9, and we were 9 men and 1 lady, and we had decided to be serious, like we would do all our projects together in all the units. And I will tell you, we were the best in our class. Like almost everyone would get an A in every unit that we worked together. And so 2019 came and we decided to shoot this film. It was early 2019. So we invested a lot of money. Like everyone had to contribute a certain amount of money to this film. And it also had to have like 2 directors. One would direct the technical aspect and also the other director would direct the cast, how they would act. And so we started our pre-production had been done in 2018. We also did our casting, our script writing, and all these were had to be assessed by the lecturer. Like we were given marks depending on how we were preparing, and we knew that we had something big coming. And then we shot this film, Gigi. You can still watch it in this channel. It was a good film and it got a lot of success. And one of the major successes that we got was that this film won the Kenya National Drama Festival and Film Festival that was held in Bungoma County. We had to travel all the way to Bungoma to showcase this film. And also, we were also made adjudicators for films that were shot by high school students. And it was an honor being in Bungoma and also being adjudicators for films that were being screened there. And after Bungoma, we also submitted our film to Kalasha Awards. And at the Kalasha Film and TV Awards, we got 2 nominations: the Best Student Film Feature Film and also the Best Film Shot in a Local Language. And back to Bungoma, our film won the Best Student Film, and I was also the runners-up Best Editor overall, and also the Best Editor in Nairobi region. And after that, so we had to wait up to almost the end of the month, and everyone went for the industry attachment. And that's when I started now knowing what life is all about. Yeah. After we finished our classwork, like working, so we had to go look for internships. Yeah, we had already made our names for us, so we knew getting an internship would be so easy. Like, we are known over Kenya, we would easily get, well, the things that happened to us. Like, let me talk for myself. Yeah, like I had one opportunity at a local TV station. Like, I also did not tell you about my story. In KU, I used to work as a pro bono video editor at KU TV. KU has a TV. And I was a video editor there. And I had just decided maybe it was enough. I was tired of working. I was tired working there for free. And so I decided maybe it was time for me to change course, maybe look for a bigger TV. Where I did not get a chance in any other TV. So I went and started working for a certain NGO as a photographer. And that's when I did my attachment. And the NGO was known as Promentus Africa. It was an NGO that went around Kenya mentoring high school students, university students. We even went to mentor judges, and it gave me a lot of exposure. And that's when I got a certain gig to work as a graphic designer for the Kenya National Prayer Breakfast. Yeah, every year the Kenyan Parliament has a prayer breakfast that they usually do in one of the major hotels in Nairobi, where they required some coverage. So, and there is a magazine that they print way before the prayer breakfast begins, and it's about the previous prayer breakfast. Now the 2019 prayer breakfast, I was one of the people who were recruited. And we made that magazine. I still have the magazine to date. I was given the task of looking for photographs, old photographs. And one of the major things I knew is that how your intellectual property is very important to you. Don't mind the noise. I live near a road. So we went to look for photographs that were used during the first president's term, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's. And we would go to media houses requesting for their pictures that they owned of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. And one media house told us that they would sell us a picture for 5,000 shillings. Every picture, 5,000 shillings. I was like, I think I should become a photographer also. So I started training as a photographer. Like, I started training myself with the camera. Started with a Nikon D750. It was a good camera. Then also I met with a certain guy who also introduced me to drones, and I trained as a drone pilot. And then I did not have my own, so I started saving for one, but that's a story for another day. And then Kalasha Awards came. I swear it was one of the hardest parts, looking for votes. You are competing with other filmmakers, and you have to, like, I think 40% of the awards was determined by the amount of votes that you gathered. And for you to vote, you had to download an app, a StarTimes app, so that you can vote. Like, you have to convince a person to download a StarTimes app on their phone, then vote for your film. And then you would see the number of votes, and you are the ones leading. So you would go open like 5 email addresses, log in into your phone, go to Play Store, download the app again with a different email address, vote. Yeah, like I did that over 30 something times. So, yeah, I had over 30 email addresses, and used to try and record every bit. Like, we would even screen record with our phone to show people how to vote. And time came, and when the guy was presenting, I think it was a lady or a guy who was presenting the award, announced, and the best student film is Kenyatta University, Gigi. I was so happy. I just walked to the stage, received the award, gave my acceptance speech. And then something has to go wrong. So as I went through the video that, we were live on KBC, so I went back to YouTube to try and re-download the beat that I was receiving the award. And when I got there, there was some scratches on the video, so it's not a clear video of me receiving the award. But well, I still won the award. We still won. I don't know why I'm being selfish. Me and other 9 great people, we won this award, and we received a lot of goodies. The cash prize was 50,000 shillings. Yeah, every winner got 50,000. And after receiving this amount, this check, we were so happy. Went back to KU, and our dean, Professor Mugubi, was so proud of us that he took us to meet the VC, Professor Wainaina, and he was a good guy, and he appreciated us. And also he also topped our award. He also gave us like 40,000 shillings after our film was featured in the KU Cultural Week. You know, KU has a cultural week that happens, and there is that films plays are aired, and we were so happy about it. Then after that, that's when 2019 was coming to an end, and we graduated, and everyone went back to their families. And at this time, I did not know what to do with my life. So I looked for a job as a video editor at a studio. And this guy was so mean that he did not want to pay me. He had promised to pay me 10,000 shillings every day. Not every day, every month. So if I did my budget, like I was left with nothing. Like after paying my rent, like I was left with nothing. So I still had to look for other sources of, like, you know, living in the city is hard. So after working for him for 2 months and him refusing to pay me, like the guy did not pay me for January, February, and March. Like he owed me like almost 25,000. And then the country was locked down, and I had to move back to the village. But I did not move back to the village with my things, so I left my house in Nairobi, not Nairobi, Ruiru. I was still paying my rent, and I decided maybe my life was meant to end up like this. After all the years in the city, I am now going back to the village as a graduate. And it was so shameful that a graduate had just moved back to the village after being a role model to many, after people being told to be like you. Yeah, I just kept my head low. I knew I would bounce back. And I started working as a charcoal burner, cutting firewood, clearing bushes for people, and burning charcoal. And that's when I realized that a sack of charcoal would cost about 1,000 shillings in the village, but if you manage to get that bag of charcoal to Nairobi, it would cost, you would sell it at 2,500 shillings. This is in 2020. I don't know the current market value of a sack of charcoal. So I would sell my charcoal to brokers who would bring it to the city, and I would sell it for like 1,000 shillings. And I managed to make like 10,000 after almost 3 weeks of waiting. And then May came. Like, you see, I've left the city in March. I've stayed all the way up to May. I decided to contact my father and tell him that I have a business idea. And he was good enough to listen to me. I told him that I had realized that bars had closed down, and people still needed to drink. So I had thought of a business idea of opening a liquor store, and a liquor store is a takeaway. So basically, the government did not shut down liquor stores. You could still buy alcohol takeaway. So I came to the city, looked for a good spot somewhere in Kahawa West, and got my liquor license, also my business permits, and opened a liquor store somewhere in Kahawa West. And it's still operational to date, though I don't own it. So I started selling alcohol in 2020, and 2020 went. It was a good year for business. Then 2021 came, and there were campaigns that were coming up, and I began to take a key interest in the campaigns that were happening around me. I had made friends with the MCA back then and also the current MCA for Kahawa West, and we started working together with these guys. So I started joining politics, and life was sweet. Like in politics, there are lots of handouts, but it's not guaranteed. Then after, in 2021, like life was getting tough as the country was still locked down. So I decided maybe it was time for me to go back and venture into film. Yeah, we made lots of films, mobile phone films, and they were all unsuccessful. And then 2022 came. Now it was at the height of the campaigns. So I left the liquor store, sold it to another person who still runs it well. And so I joined the campaign teams for the current MCA of Kahawa West. And after working with him, it was good. I got a lot of exposure, met one of the guys who was leading the campaign, Anko Maicheche. If you live in Kahawa West or around Roysambu, you know him. And he has an award known as SAP Awards that happens every year. It has already happened for this year. And so I worked with him there, and I also got exposed to different characters and learned how to work with different people. When you are in a campaign, you work with everyone. You go to the market, interact with women. So I started having an idea of maybe vying for a political seat one day, but I realized campaigns require lots of money, that even if you are paid your whole salary for the 5-year term, you can't recover that amount of money. So I think one thing with political seats is that you have to look for the power. Like when you have power, you have lots access to a lot of things, but not just money. So then after the campaigns, after the nomination, my father's health was deteriorating, and unfortunately in May I lost my father. Yeah, and it was one of the hardest part of my life, like losing my father. But something good had just happened before I lost him. I got hired to work in a local TV station where I still work to date, Vega TV, as a digital marketer or the social media manager. So I started running the social media accounts. That was in May 2022, and things were so good for me. Like it helped me overcome the pain of losing my father, like getting a job, because like things were going badly, because after the nominations, like politicians tend to, after winning nominations, these politicians just assume that they have already won the general elections. So they are like nobody, there was no source of income. I did not have any source of income. So I just became a photographer, a drone pilot, and people would not pay me much. So I decided just to continue looking for a job, and God is good. I got this job at Vega TV, and it was a good job. It is a good job. And I worked as a digital marketer there. Then I got promoted just a few months in. Like after like 3 months, I got promoted and started working now for the mother company that owns the TV station. I also got a job at a real estate company known as Mawega. I started also managing their social media accounts, and also for several individuals. And things were going well. This is now in 2022. Then in December 2022, a time like this, at Christmas, that's when I received some bad news that my mom had suffered from a stroke and it was bad, and she was rushed to hospital, and we started now focusing on taking care of her, and her health improved. She recovered from the stroke. Yeah, she recovered. Then in October, now this year, now we are in 2023, because she got the stroke in 2022 and she also recovered now earlier this year. After she recovered, she suffered an accident in October, and that's how I now lost my two parents. And it was a bad thing. Like, it was pretty bad losing two parents in 2 consecutive years. And now I had to learn how to survive on my own, no one to cry to. And it was pretty bad. But also, it's a learning experience, and maybe I'll be back into making films in future, but I'll know about that. But currently I do digital marketing, which has been good. It was an industry that I never thought I would venture into, like managing and also preparing content for social media. It's been good for me, and my life has improved a lot, and I look forward to going back to film. And also, I skipped a bit back in 2022, just before my father's death. I had also won a mobile phone film competition. Yeah, like it was prepared by KFC, or Kenya Film Commission, had prepared a mobile phone film competition. I had also, I came as the runners up, if you can Google it, in 2022, and they had a cash prize of 150,000, which was a lot of money, and it helped me improve my life and also other things. And I look forward to going back to film. It wasn't that bad with all the frustrations. Maybe I'll go back soon. And I hope also to do more YouTube. Like, I've started doing also some TikTok videos, and it has been promising. So I do kindly request for you to follow me on TikTok, and also continue subscribing for this, like for more content, for more interactive content. Yeah, kizungu inapotea, sijaiongea kizungu 20 minutes non-stop. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Kwaheri.